gaming in general has kind of fallen off in the last couple of years. We've had some really bad releases like Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, Battlefield 2042. Even the new Saints Row game has been absolutely terrible. And the question is, will Dead Island 2 follow down that same path? Dead Island 2 was originally shown off in 2014 with a cinematic trailer. Jaeger Development was originally hired to work on the game, and it got passed to Sumo Digital. Then it got passed to Dambuster Studios. Dambuster Studios is the original. They're the ones that are working on it right now, and it's supposedly supposed to come out in February of next year. The question is, will it be a flop? Is this going to be a bad game, honestly? Because it's been in development hell for around 10 years now. I am someone who's a huge fan of Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. I've played through them multiple times. I played through them multiple times in co-op, and I want this game to be a good game. I'm not saying that it's going to be a bad game. I just saying that you should be worried of it. You don't have to look further than Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2, it's an okay game, but it's not like an amazing game. But Dead Island 2 is more akin to something like Duke Nukem Forever, which was in development hell, I don't know, for ages. That came out and it was a total disaster. And you had Cyberpunk 2077 that was worked on for like 8 years. That came out, was not a good game. It's still not a good game to this day. I don't care what anyone says. It's still a buggy mess. And then you had Battlefield 2042, which came out and is still pretty much unplayable to this day. It runs terrible. It's not even that good of a looking game, and the developers have basically ignored the feedback from their fans, keeping in the specialist system instead of adding classes, having terrible lifeless maps. They're just big open spaces. This is why I worry about Dead Island 2. The climate when it comes to video gaming has been bad these last couple of years. Games coming out unfinished, AAA games coming out in early access states. Early access states are reserved for games on Steam. That's where it should be. And those are games that are coming out and they're in an early state and they're still in development. When I go out and I pay $60 and up for a AAA game, it should be finished right from the get-go. I miss the old days of buying a game, not even having day one patches, and just being able to play it. I miss playing on my PS2, playing when the Xbox 360 and PS3 came out, and games would come out, for the most part, finished. You put it in, you played it, it was a finished game. Now, there have been patches, but now games come out, and there are day one patches that fix game-breaking bugs. Go ahead, and if you don't believe me, take Cyberpunk 2077 and install that on your console without the day one patch and tell me how terrible that game is. It's absolutely atrocious. And that's the thing. I'm so sick of the release it now, fix it later mentality with gaming. And that's what I fear for Dead Island 2. And I'm not saying that I want it to be bad, that it's going to be bad. With the climate of gaming the way that it is now, and especially it's been exacerbated by the pandemic, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse over the last 3 to 4 years. Games come out and they are just unfinished, and it's unacceptable for a AAA studio that has hundreds of millions of dollars to put into a project that, it's just comes out and it's just completely bad. It's unacceptable. It really is. And that's why I fear for this game, and any game coming forward, you gotta kind of be wary. Gameplay isn't enough now to see and be like, this is a good game or not. I remember when gameplay kind of showed that a game was good or not, because nowadays they can just take a little snippet of the game and where that's a finished part of the game that they've finished, that they've tailored. It's a tailored experience that they can show to you, that little tiny part that's finished, and be like, oh yeah, here's the game in its entirety. I don't believe it. Now. And that's why, don't fall into the hype. Don't fall into the hype of any game. Just kind of wait till they come out and see how they are, and then go ahead and purchase it. So I want you to leave your comments below. What do you think about Dead Island because it's been passed around from developer to developer to developer, and Dam Buster Studios' last game was the sequel to Homefront called Homefront: The Revolution, and it was a terrible flop. It was a terrible flop of a game. It got terrible ratings. It ran terrible on the PS4 and Xbox One. It ran terrible on PC. It still really has never been fixed to this day, and it's a terrible game, honestly. So I just am wary of it. I really liked what I saw when I saw the trailers. I'm not putting the trailers here because I don't want to get copyrighted. And I don't know if you know this, but the Jaeger build of the game was actually leaked a couple years ago, and I played it. And I put it up on YouTube, and I got a copyright strike for it. And I regret putting that video up on YouTube, but I got like 100,000 views in like 2 days on it. But yeah, they did not like me leaking their beta build of the game. But Jaeger wasn't even the one that was developing it anymore. Dam Buster was, so I don't know why they struck me down for it. But I guess it was just like a keep quiet thing. But anyways, I want to see what you guys have to say. Do you think Dead Island 2 is going to be a great success, or do you think it's going to be a flop? Should we be wary of it because it's been in development hell for so many years? Leave your comments below. And this is Not the Average Gamers. Sign off. Catch you guys in the next video.
It's running like a dream. This ride is yours whenever you need.